and welcome back to another video on the Silent and the Fury. So the full trailer just came out and now we know exactly what units are coming with the DLC and just how totally insane they are looking on both sides. In this video, I'm going to break down every single thing that is new that we now know and let you know exactly when you can expect to find out more right here on the channel. So stay tuned till the end to see that schedule. Spoilers, it's a little bit hectic. Now onto the trailer breakdown. It starts out exactly the same as we saw it before in the tease, so I'll just skip over that bit. In summary, we see this handsome little dude called Oxyotl following the trail of destruction left behind by Torox, the Brass Bull. He follows him through a couple of ruined settlements all the way to this ominous looking cave. We now see that in this cave is none other than a Jabberslife, and it charges forward and Oxyotl narrowly avoids getting swiped by its humongous claws. Now these grotesque creatures are so horrific to look at that even water will not show their reflection. They are massive anti-infantry monsters that do massive area of effect damage, poison attacks, and bring a passive leadership buff, as it is so disgusting it literally causes those who look upon it to go mad. They also have a large sticky tongue that they can shoot out to ensnare anything as large as a horse, so we'll be sure to see some disgusting animations and combat use for that. Now worth knowing here is that they do have wings, but they are more for looks than anything else, as this lad is not able to fly due to its horrific proportions. We'll then see a bunch of chameleon stalkers rushing to the aid of Oxyotl to take on the Jabberslife, though I'm not too sure exactly how you would go about taking on such a thing aside from missile spam. By the way, the stalkers seem to be going at it is using one-handed blowpipes, which seem to be launching some sort of explosive projectiles that possibly do fire damage. They're also charging into melee range and are described as shock infantry, so we can assume they are more for using to flank the enemy and attack fast and hard before retreating back into the shadows. The Jabberslife roars at this attack and immediately Oxyotl knows this is bad news and senses the charging of Beastmen hooves. Torox arrives and he brings with him a lot of Beastmen infantry, but also a couple of new units. We see a couple of Gorgons, which can be seen to either side of Torox. These four armed creatures have evolved to be monstrous in size and are in contention for the tallest unit in the game. They are experts at battling with other large targets with their four-bladed limbs and can regenerate HP whilst in battle, meaning the more they fight, the more likely they are to survive. In answer to this, Oxyotl summons the rest of his units to the fray, and oh boy, do we have some beauts. These delectable dinos are the feral Troglodons, with the one that's the different colour most likely being the Pale Death, which is the Regiment of Renown version. These cave-dwelling dinos have powerful venom spit, which can be seen in action, and excel in combat versus other large targets, not unlike another spined dino you may have heard of. The skink you can see atop of one of the Troglodons is the new skink Oracle hero. They are always mounted on Troglodons and march into battle equipped with a mix of the laws of beasts, life, fire, and heavens. Think of these like the Law Masters of Hoeth of the lizards, but on a dinosaur. In the overhead shot, among other things, we see the brand new Coatl. This is a highly intelligent flying monster which can cast powerful bombardment and vortex spells and grant stalk to any friendly units below it. Think of it like a counter UAV mixed with an airstrike that can also do a little bit of throwing down with enemies of all kinds. In this overhead, we also see another Gorgon, but he has one nasty case of sunburn. This is probably the Blood Brute Behemoth, which is the Regiment of Renown version of the Gorgon, which deals even more damage the lower the target's HP gets, which makes it into a literal beast of a monster slayer. Also, we see a giant get fucking rocked, showing once and for all that even in animated trailers, they are totally worthless. Finally, on the right of frame, we can see some unfamiliar chariots. These are likely the Tuskar chariots, which are high-mass chariots drawn by Tuskars, unsurprisingly. They deal devastating charges and disrupt enemy formations for as long as they have momentum. Expect me to be utterly useless with them since I can't use chariots to save my life. We then get a few glamour shots of the beasts tearing through the lizard infantry, and we see the Gorgons have literal human skeletons hung from their bodies, which is a little bit intense. We then get a super quick shot of a dude with metal braces beating the shit out of some Saurus. This is probably the new Doombull Lord type, which is the Lord version of the Gorbel hero. These are the most powerful Minotaurs the Beastmen have on offer, and have risen to the rank of general to lead armies into battle. They are ferocious, high damage battlers, and will likely perform like even bigger Gorbels, which should be pretty goddamn scary. We close in on our two legendary lords, staring each other down and moving to attack. Oxyotl by doing some sweet balancing trips and using that blowpipe which bounces right off of Torox's axe. Torox takes a more direct approach and charges headlong to take on the chameleon. Of course, we cut to black before we see the outcome, but we won't have to wait long to decide who wins. Now, there are also a few bits on the Steam page and FAQ that we didn't see in this trailer, so I'm just going to go through those now. We missed a single hero from the Beastman side, the Wargor. This is a powerful melee warrior hero that can be recruited to buff other Beastman units with support abilities. We were still missing 2 of the Beastmen Regiments of Renown, unless you can see them in there. The Groghooves of Wolves Run, which are a Centigor's throwing axe unit that come with poison attacks and HP regen as part of their Drunken Bravado passive ability. The Vorbegland Broodmother is the Jabberslife Regiment of Renown and gains sundering attacks as well as a powerful armor-piercing vortex ability. And we were also missing a couple on the Lizard's side. The Gelt Bloms Terror, which, do I really need to tell you that Gelt Blom may be a slight reference to Goldblum, as in Jurassic Park Man? Yes, I think so. This is a feral Carnosaur that will never rampage and comes with Vanguard deployment, which means it will tear the ass up of anything that you point it at in record speed. Finally, the Spirit of Tepok, which is a legendary Coatl, which can cast the Shield of Thorns and Banishment. Now, the moment that I know you've all been waiting for is my personal DLC release schedule. So it kicks off tomorrow on the 2nd of July. I'll be releasing a video explaining everything you need to know about the Dwarf rework and the brand new Frailty Lord coming alongside the DLC, whose name you'll find out tomorrow. On the 3rd, I'll be showing off a little something extra that's coming with the Dwarves, but I can't tell you about it just yet, but you will definitely find out about it tomorrow. On the 4th, I'll be covering the entire Beastmen rework and telling you exactly how to play them, again. On the 5th, I'll be going over some extra spicy things coming in this latest patch that, again, I can't talk about yet, but believe me when I say they are super duper exciting. And on the 6th, I'll be doing a dedicated video on how to play Taurox and all the beastly things he's bringing with him, and then on the 7th, I'll be doing the same for Oxyotl. On the 9th, I'll be doing my Legendary Lord ranking for the Beastmen, which is good timing since I was going to do it now anyway. And finally, on the 13th, I'll be releasing my review of the DLC and let you know if it's worth your hard-earned cash. And that just about sums up everything you need to know about this trailer, the FAQ, the Steam page, and of course, my beautiful schedule. So thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it at any point, then be sure to leave it a like. And if you want to see all this content on the Silent and the Fury DLC, as well as all the other content on Total War Warhammer, Warhammer 2, Warhammer 3, and you know, maybe some other games that aren't related to Total War, then be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. I'd like to take this time to thank all supporters of the channel, in particular Kobe Said So and Nifty Norm, for their fantastic support at the Unclean Ones tier. I really can't thank you guys enough. One more time, thank you so very much for watching, and for now, I've been Colonel Damneders, and I will see you next turn.